Hey gang, welcome back to the shop. It is another fantastic day here in Central Arizona, and today will be a continuation of last week's video. Now, you might recall I took a set of sliders, factory sliders from a JT Gladiator, and I'm adapting them to fit my 1989 Jeep Comanche, the MJ. JT to the MJ. If you know what the controversy might be of those two factions, and maybe you'll have some fun with this video as well. Stick around. Well, here's my starting point. So in the last video, I cut this to length. I made 3 relief cuts so that I could straighten this out because the Gladiator has quite a lot of curve to the body where the Comanche does not. I believe I've got these fitted about where I want them. It's not a perfect tight factory fit, but by golly, I think when we're done, it's going to look like they belong. Got a little bit of profile on the side that matches the profile up here in the body line, and some pretty decent gap. My challenge is going to be underneath here, just exactly how to attach these, right? So you might have recall, I've cut off the bracket that came over and up for the Gladiator, and I've cut off the studs that for the Gladiator were designed to go through this seam here, this pinch seam. So what I'm thinking is, I've got some 3-inch angle iron. I'm going to cut a piece of angle iron that'll go on top of here for strength, because I'll be able to weld it. It's going to come out the length, the width from outside to outside of these 2 brackets, and then come up and make a bend up. That'll give me my inside, and then I'm going to need to do something on this side to create a pinch. So let's go cut something. This might give you a slightly better idea. This is, I think, 6.5 inches from here to here. I'm going to cut this piece of angle iron. I will notch it so that it'll go beat back here for strength. I don't know. Let's see what we can do. I think once you see the picture in my head, it'll be clear as mud. So this probably won't tell you too much, but here's the piece of this sill that I cut off of my slider, rather, okay? And what I've already done is what's on the vehicle, I've cut off here. I've ground these off. So what I'm going to do is I've got this piece of angle iron. We're looking at the bottom side, so it might not make sense to you right now, but I want to notch this so that this is going to fit. If you see here, I'm going to get as much of this surface up on this metal here, which is structurally what's holding everything, giving it good strength, right? So I'm going to cut this piece out, do some more learning, and let's see if we can make this happen together. Okay, so just what exactly am I doing? Here's the piece that I cut off the length of the right side sill. Here is my bracket that I've cut, fit, and fabbed up that's going to go to the pinch seam under the cab. And this is going to be my backing plate to pinch said pinch seam to give us a little extra strength and a little extra something, particularly as I bring this sill up into place and want to weld it. So using this as an example, you'll see how this will go and be welded to this base plate here that runs the length of this whole sill, okay? Runs the whole length of it, so it gives it structure. This will be welded in place, and then this guy is going to have I'll probably just put 2 bolts on either one to hold on to the pinch seam. Now, I want to start out with drilling these holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld these together so that I can drill the holes at the same time. Then I know everything lines up nice. And then I'm going to want to actually mount this up, bolt it to the pinch seam before I bring my sill into place to figure out how to adjust it from the outside. Make sense? I think it will as we proceed. Let's go drill some holes. Nope, first, let's weld these together like I said I would do. I'll put a couple tacks on it, and then I know everything's going to stay in place when I drill it. I'm slow, but boy, I am steady. I'll make this work. Can't get a good ground. Guess I should have done that before I got the camera going. There. No muss, no fuss. Now those can stay in place. I will still probably keep my vice grips on there anyway, but gives me a little extra something so they don't slip around. Let's go drill some holes. Okay, so I've got holes drilled. You might have noticed I took the center punch earlier. Because I've cut everything to fit a certain spot in a certain way, and these were welded together and drilled together, I just used my center punch to put a couple dimples there. 2 dimples, 2 dimples, 1 dimple, 1 dimple. So if they get separated, I can match everything back up. And something I was thinking of earlier is, you know, if I just take this, if I take this bolt and I put it through here like so, this is all well and good. I've got these carriage bolts, but I would have to do square holes, get these to lodge in really nice. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind the squares off of these. I'm going to weld these in place so I've got studs built in. I think you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as I get back. A couple days have passed. Actually, it's been a whole weekend. That darn JOB thing got in the way from my shop time. So here's what this is going to look like on the passenger side. This is my first rail. Bolted in place, held in place only by the pinch seam right now. But I think we're in pretty good shape. Now what I've got is I'm going to have a little bit of change here. Once I level this, it's going to come up just a little bit tighter, close this gap just a little bit, and I'm going to be really happy with this. I wish that all the traffic would just wait until I was done with my videos. Don't they know this is more important? Let's take a look underneath, however, and show you something I had to change up. Let's see if I can not make you too dizzy here. So, you might remember that what I was talking about doing with this piece of 3-inch angle iron was having this on the outside and putting my bolts in this way. Well, I thought that's kind of silly. I'll never get to them. So what I've done, I'll show you a little bit when we do a side-by-side of the original before I cut them up. I welded this bolt onto this piece here so I could put it through the holes in the pinch seam. And then this is not bracket. Let's just call it an oversized washer. Good grief, I can't even talk. That'll help bolster this a little bit. I still need to figure what I'm going to do to connect here to here. There's lots of YouTube videos out there about how folks have done that. I've got a pretty good idea what I'm going to do. And I think I'm just going to go to my 2 points here. Let's turn around and take a look. I'll have 2 points to connect. Gosh, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to connect way back here. I think, again, these are for looks as much as anything. A little bit of function, so if something were to smack up underneath here, I run over a big branch or something, it's not going to destroy my sill. But some good questions some guys came up with is making sure that I didn't have this too close to the bed, because if I am out and it flexes a little bit, will the frame and the unibody flex enough to create a problem? Well, I guess we'll see. That is why I have the space that I do. So let's, I'll take this off, show you what's different between this and the original sill, and then I've got a whole other side to go. Okay, here's what I'm working with. I've got the original JT rail here, untouched. This is the driver's side. And the passenger side here. Now, the JT rail is 94 inches long, has quite a bow to it, and these are made OEM just to bolt right into place. I cut this down to 72 inches where I wanted it. I made some relief cuts in it so that I could straighten it out because my MJ has got a much straighter body line. I cut these mounting brackets off all the way down so that I could fabricate my own mounting bracket. We'll look at this a little closer in a moment, but it's, got to double check myself. Yep, it's 2.5 inch angle iron, piece of scrap that I had. And that's welded in place now with 2 bolts that'll go right into the pinch seam. This bolts this up tight. I'm still going to need to fabricate a brace that goes from the bottom of this to my unibody under the cab. I'm just going to do that in 2 places. I'm going to leave the backside free for now until I see if the pickup moves or flexes much. I don't want this tapping the bed, but I'm going to try that out. I don't really four-wheel it very hard, mostly just old logging roads and trips out on the desert. Let's take a closer look at what I did here. This piece of angle iron, this is the distance of the pinch seam from the floor to the ground. So this comes up pretty nice, pretty tight really. I chose to mount this where there was already some structural integrity instead of mounting this where it would have been easier maybe over here on some flat stock. I just thought it would give this whole structure a little better feel. And yeah, 4-inch grinder will make that look much better. And then I did not just to come in here a little bit so I could get the full effect of the angle iron that I used here. These were an afterthought. I'd actually originally was going to put the bolts in this way, but realized it'd be really hard to get to. So I had to drill them out, do this terrible weld that'll be tucked away where nobody can see it. Well, that's going to button it up for this weekend. I appreciate you spending the time with me here in the shop. I'm just running out of end. There's always too much week and not enough end. Remember to click like and subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing here at Party Shop Shenanigans. I hope the next video will be a finished product with these JT rock sliders all mounted up nice and secure under Papa Smurf. Give a little protection for the undersides. Shout out to the guys at Summit 4x4 here in Prescott, Arizona. I'd like to thank you guys for the great deal you made me on these takeoffs for these sliders. No way I could have bought the iron for what I picked this up for. Remember to go out and make somebody smile today. You both deserve it. Bob out.